Hi friends, good evening. I am Dr. Sridhar Kalyanasundaram, consultant neonatologist and pediatrician. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for keeping the notifications on. In case you haven't turned the notifications, I would request you to do so that you are informed of new videos coming up as well as any live sessions that I may be conducting in the future. We've had a very good response to the live session on COVID-19 in children. Thank you for that, and I hope you found the information useful. Please do share with your friends and encourage them to subscribe as well. The best way to go through the channel now that we have more videos added is to have a review of the playlists which are of interest to you. So there are playlists, for example, for parents of children under 1 year of age. There are playlists focusing on nutrition. There are playlists on life support. There is a general playlist for parent advice which includes all these videos as well. And there is a separate playlist for medics, pediatrician and neonatologists and nurses. For the medics as well, we have separate playlists like basics of neonatology, focusing on certain aspects of newborn care. I hope this organization helps you go through the videos, and do remember that it's not just the new videos. There are plenty of videos made in the past which would be of interest to you as well, and I would encourage you to go through that. In this video, I want to discuss a very important topic. After the live session we had on COVID-19, I have had a few queries related to elevator and is there any risk of going in the elevator during this period? Of course, it's a very important question, and to understand that, first we have to see how the virus can spread. So there are different ways that the virus can spread. We have droplet spread, which is the most common way a virus spreads. It can be the influenza virus, it can be the common cold virus, and it can be the coronavirus. So they all spread mainly through the droplet spread. So the droplets are created as we sneeze, as we cough, even as we speak. So simple breathing doesn't release much of droplets. However, actions like speaking, the louder you speak, the more droplets are released. And some of these droplets can be fine aerosol based. And so aerosols are basically particles which can float in the air for a distance. They don't settle down immediately. A droplet is a heavier particle which usually drops to the surface or to the floor. So when there is a contact, for example, we close our hands and sneeze or cough, which we shouldn't suppose. We are supposed to cough or sneeze into the elbow sleeve or into a tissue and dispose it properly. So in case we cough into our hands, the droplets are on our hands, we touch any surface on it, and this is a fomite. So the virus stays on, for example, an elevator handle, a door, or the buttons that we press, and it may stay on different surfaces for a different period of time. The dose that we get from these surfaces are not very high. However, proper disinfection measures have to be in place. You have to avoid touching. If you do touch with the knuckle of your hand, for example, which doesn't normally come in contact with your face or with the mucous membranes. But more than the contact, we are more worried about what is in the air around us, because that is the part that comes in higher doses. For example, if we are in an elevator with another person, he doesn't wear a mask and he's coughing, there's a significant aerosol and droplet in the air. The droplets are restricted to a shorter distance, while the aerosols can spread to a longer distance. The main aspect here is that the elevator is a closed space. There is not adequate ventilation. The air exchange rate in the elevators is low, and even though some of them may have a fan at the top under suction aspect to remove the air, the frequency of air changes are low, especially when the elevator is moving. And remember that the air in the elevator may stay stagnant for a period of time even after the person who has been in the lift prior to that has left. So don't assume that just because no one is there in the lift with you, it is safe, and remove your mask. So there are a few precautions we should take. I mean, obviously not everyone stays in a villa, and not everyone can afford to stay in a villa. You're already living in an apartment and life has to go on. So we do have to use elevators at work. We have to use it in the supermarkets and the malls where we go. So a few tips. One is avoid using the elevator where the staircase is accessible. Suppose you are in the first or second floor, you're better off taking the staircase where possible. If you have seen people getting into the elevator and it is likely to be crowded, you can wait for the next elevator, so don't crowd it. You have safety norms which are put up, and you have stickers on the floor indicating how many can get into the lift safely. Most of the elevators which are reasonable sized have 4 people in the elevator, while the smaller ones have only 2 people allowed, unless you are in the same family. So obviously the number of people going in the elevator makes a difference as well. Don't overcrowd. Once you are in the elevator, always keep your mask on, even if you are alone. Don't touch the side handles, don't touch the buttons. If possible, you can have a knuckle to touch it, and then when you come out, use a hand gel, or you can have a device to touch the buttons, which can help you to open door handles as well. So some devices have come up which you can consider using. It's not essential if you take adequate precautions. Again, gloves are not essential for this reason as well, because you may end up using it for you may carry infection from different surfaces to other surfaces. So hand hygiene is less likely to be practiced well if you are wearing a glove. So you can wear gloves if you are high risk, but otherwise safe precautions and remembering to use the hand gel after any contact with surfaces is important. Don't lean against the wall of the elevator as well. If you do happen to be with someone in the elevator, don't speak, because you are going to get more droplets in the air. You are risking the others in the elevator as well as the people who follow you. Most places try to clean, but the cleaning is never going to be as good, and the air surface cannot be really clean. Only the air exchanges can do that. So the main points: use the stairs where possible. Even if you have children and babies, for example, under 2 years of age, we are not recommending the use of masks. So you can cover the face of the baby for that period of time, or you can have a small mask which you put on for the period they are in the elevator, and you can remove it once they are outside as the risk is low. Elderly people who are at risk, try to minimize going out in the first place. If you do have to go out, go at a time which is not the peak hours when many people use the elevator. Wait for the elevator to be empty. You always have a right to say, can I go alone in the elevator please? So if someone else is waiting to get into the lift as well, you can always request them. You don't need to be uncomfortable. If you are unable to climb the stairs because of your knee or any problems, you can mention that to them and say, I am worried, is it okay if I go alone in the lift? And if someone is about to get in the next floor as well, you can say the same. People are understanding, they know people are anxious, so don't be worried about requesting it. So there is no need to panic. There is no need to totally avoid using elevators, but follow these precautions. Of course, if you are having a mask on and you feel like sneezing, you should sneeze into the mask. Don't remove the mask to sneeze. So don't speak in the elevator as far as you can, even if you are just with your friends, considering others who will follow you. Don't sneeze into the elevator. Don't cough into the elevator, especially without a mask. It's very important not to do that. You have to be considerate for the others as well. So it's not just during the time when you are there, the air will linger on after you get out of the elevator as well. So this is a difficult time. We have to support each other. We have to do our best to reduce the risk of the coronavirus in the community. So I hope you learned from this and you'll follow these tips for the reason for the society. You can consider a double ply of mask as well. You can wear a double mask when you're in the elevator if you are worried as well. So I hope this is useful. Do subscribe, do share this important video. Thank you.